Anything with specialty skills already is great, but if they don't, we have opportunities to grow them. Just dedicated, motivated individuals that want to make a difference in the Guard and want to make a difference in their state when they come back from the Warrior Training Center, we'll take them.
Excellent. Welcome back to Leaders Recon, where we're discussing the Warrior Training Center today with Captain Sturges, the current S3 at WTC. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm your host, Captain Carney. And so we usually like to start off our interviews with a fact that when people hear it about you, it surprises people. So what's a fact like that?
Yeah, I grew up between Colorado and Indiana. I've been a guardsman in 3 separate states.
Whoa.
And I have a beautiful family, three little girls.
Excellent.
Definitely a girl dad.
All right. That's excellent. Oh, yeah, 3 girls. There you go. Do people ever give you, say, whoa, that's a lot of...
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try for another, so it'll probably be twin girls or something.
Yep. Sounds good. Well, how long have you been with WTC? What's your current role? What's kind of your relationship with WTC over the past few years?
So I was introduced to the WTC in 2011. I attended Air Assault School when we were doing Cadet Command Air Assault out at Camp Riley in Oregon. I was really impressed with the organization at that time. Didn't know that I'd have the opportunity to interact with WTC cadre again. 2014, I was in the Texas Guard, got an opportunity to go to Pathfinder School on a mobile training team out to Camp Swift. And then later in 2014, came to RTAC and kind of interacted with the ACO side of the house before going to Ranger School. Fast forward a little bit, post-Captain's Career Course, I was doing an XCTC rotation at Fort Hood, met the incoming battalion commander at the time. He decided to give me a shot and hire me down here, see if I was worth my salt. And came here in 2016 as a BCO XO, and then took BCO command in 2017, ACO command in 2019, became the 3 in 21.
Well, obviously worth your salt.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I've
Excellent.
been here for a while.
So going into a little bit more about WTC, I mean, I've been MDay for 10 years, and so hadn't heard a lot about it, but now that I'm up at the NGB level and learning about leader development and everything like that, WTC is, it seems like an incredible Guard asset as far as it's focused at Guard. And how many courses are taught here? Like, what is WTC?
So we are a Title X Army National Guard organization aligned under Army National Guard Training Division and the MCOE Senior Mission Commander. We focus on providing critical functional skills, developing leaders within the Compo 2 formations to enhance really federal and state operational readiness and lethality across the Guard.
Okay. How many courses are taught here?
16 total right now.
Okay. And notably, as far as we've already interviewed some of the other courses. You've got Jump Master, Air Assault, Airborne, Pathfinder, RTLI, RTAC, and then Abrams, Bradleys. Are there any other that are real notable that I missed?
So I can run it down for you. Let's see. So we have 3 training companies and then HHC. HHC traditionally in the past has been really the support role. They've taken care of POI support, medical, admin, all of that type of thing.
Sure.
But we do have 2 POIs within RTLI now, or within HHC now, which is RTLI and the Jump Master course. ACO has RTAC, Master Fitness Trainer course, Basic and Tactical Combatives, and then the Light Leaders course. Light Leaders isn't an ATARS-driven course. It's a modular course designed to meet a battalion and brigade maneuver commander's intent in achieving mission essential tasks. Bravo Company has Air Assault Rappel Master Pathfinder, and then Charlie Company, Abrams and Bradley Training Assessment course, Vehicle Crew Evaluator Senior Gunner course, SIO, Alpha 8 Transition. So yeah, I mean, we run the full gamut from light to platform.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Now I was looking through some of like the 101 products about WTC, and you have a lot of assets here. What are some of those key assets as far as like airplane mock-ups and things like that?
Yeah, so we have 4 classrooms on camp, so we have the ability to host quite a few courses simultaneously depending upon the course max. We have 3 barracks across camp, total capacity of 258 students at any given time. It was a 60-foot rappel tower, which was just recently done, and we're working on some additional modifications to that to kind of enhance the training value of that apparatus. Slant wall, 4 UH-60 mock-ups, C-17, C-130, CH-47 mock-ups, C-130 hull trainer. obstacle course that can really accommodate the full gamut. We have air assault courses that run through here, so it supports that. Ranger training assessment course when we were still doing the obstacle course, but it essentially mirrors the Derby Queen over at 4th RTB. And then we run competitions on that as well. So we hosted part of the Best Ranger competition this year using our aero course.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
With WTC, what was the original need and what did the original stand-up look like that created the need to bring WTC to what it is today?
Yeah, so kind of go back in history a little bit. 1994, Mr. Sider, our deputy commander, realized that there was a kind of a pervasive attrition issue within Ranger School, specifically for National Guardsmen. I believe at the time we had an 8% graduation rate. So he developed a pre-Ranger course at that time. And we still have some DA civilians on staff that worked with him throughout that period as well. So there's kind of a long legacy that goes into this. But since that time, we've been able to get graduation rates up to as high as 68% for National Guard soldiers going through Ranger School. Right now, we're sitting at about 57.4% for this year. We should trend just above 60% if things go in the appropriate direction. But that's kind of what the WTC does well, right? We look at what's the director's current vision, what does he want the National Guard to be capable of, and then we look for training shortfalls or readiness shortfalls, and we plug in where we can to satisfy those requirements. So we saw the same thing with Abrams and Bradley training assessment course. Graduation rates were roughly 30%. They've been between 90 and 100% over the last 5 years for guys going from ATAC, BTAC into Common Core in their platform-specific Master Gunner course. As recent as last year, the National Guard has quite a few airborne and aerial delivery organizations throughout formations. So we were sitting at 38% strength for jump masters across the force, across Compo 2 force. So we stood up a jump master MTT last year. We've run 5 courses. We have one on the road right now in Texas. So we're always looking for those gaps that we can fill to kind of improve the capability of the Guard and fix those readiness and training issues to the best of our ability. We've taken on quite a role with several of our courses. So we're the executive agency for Air Assault, Repel Master, and Pathfinder. The United States Army Infantry School is a proponent, right, for any infantry-driven schools. And then for each of those courses, they have an executive agency that's responsible for governing courseware and making sure there's adequate communication between satellite schoolhouses, ensuring similar student experience, kind of streamlining processes and how courses are executed. So we have that for Air Assault, Repel Master, and Pathfinder. Which, there's obviously Compo 1 organizations that do those as well. So we'll host annual working groups and symposiums to make sure that everybody's in line and doing the right thing. But I think
synchronizing amongst active duty and basically any of the schoolhouses.
Yeah, cross Compo.
Right.
Which really benefits everybody, right? Partner nations, sister services included. So.
Oh, cool.
I think we've been quite the game changer for Compo 2. I think we'll continue to do that so long as there's requirements that need to be filled.
And as far as capabilities, you mentioned MTTs. So can you explain what that is and what is our current capability across the Guard with MTTs? So
MTTs are mobile training teams. Every POI that we have, every course that I mentioned earlier is exportable. So we can do them anywhere. Air Assault and Pathfinder were just over in Germany not long ago. We've run RTAC in Kenya. I mean, there's places to do pretty much everything, and all of our cadre are prepared to go on the road and are resourced to do so. There are opportunities for states to purchase courses if they need to do that, which is obviously more cost effective. Instead of sending everybody down here, they can bring us out there and we can run a course. And then there's several TR funded sites that are kind of strategically located from the West, Midwest, and East Coast to make sure that we regionally align courses and allow opportunities for Guardsmen to attend.
So with all of the capabilities that WTC has, what's a normal amount of students, or what's a normal tempo or throughput at any given time at WTC?
Yeah, so every course has their own course max. Generally, if we're running a course in a single location, the most students that you'll see at any given time is about 350. But we have an annual throughput of roughly 5,500.
On an annual basis?
On an annual basis, yep.
Wow, that's a lot. So
that's both resident and MTT combined.
Well, that's a success in itself as far as the next thing I wanted to bring up was with WTC. I know that we've discussed a lot of recent teams that have gone through and received training from WTC, like all of the Army National Guard sniper schools received training from WTC, and what are some other competitions that WTC assists with training for the National Guard teams?
Yeah, so the National Guard Marksmanship Training Center out in Arkansas, they actually run sniper for the Guard. But we are the executive agency for all Army National Guard competitions. So any competition that a Guardsman may compete in, whether it be Best Ranger, International Sniper Competition, the Gainey Cup, the Sullivan Cup, soon to be Best Medic, Best Mortar most likely, Best Squad as it continues to staff and gain some traction. All of those competitors will come here and then go through a train up, whether it be a week from time to time, dependent upon the quick click to bang on regional or local competitions to us, up to 4 months in cases like BRC. They'll be here and train with subject matter experts, and we'll prepare them for the competitions and send them forward. Really, 2016 was our banner year. We took ISC that year, Best Ranger that year, and Sullivan Cup.
Friedline and
Rob Killian, Major Killian. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So with all as a WTC instructor, with all the accreditations that you get, whenever people finish their time here and they go back to their units, what does that look like?
So, sometimes they'll go back in an M-Day capacity, but I think one of the things to highlight about the opportunities afforded by this organization, the reputation that it has, we've had since inception over 350 soldiers that have served here, either assessed into the Title 10 or to the Title 32 AGR program.
That's amazing.
So it is. So the amount of knowledge, the amount of expertise, the amount of growth they get during an assignment here seems to pay dividends for them.
So with WTC being a Guard-centric organization, what's the return on investment, or what are the benefits that the Guard receives from WTC?
So from the student perspective, anybody that we send back to the state now has a particular set of skills or subject matter expertise that they can use to advise commanders at echelon when trying to achieve mission essential tasks, really enhancing the lethality of the operational readiness of that specific organization or unit. From the cadre perspective, it's important first to realize that we're 90% ADOS, right? So everybody that comes here wants to be here, they volunteer to be here. We represent 39 states currently from across the 54, so there's quite this conglomerate of individuals with diverse backgrounds that can really provide input and this really professional, awesome experience to these students. But what the cadre member gives back, right, when they're going back to their state, they may spend a year here because it's ADOS, right? So it's year-by-year orders up to 5 years. They may stay here for a year, they may stay here for 5, but when they go back to their unit, right, they've been on the podium, they have their podium time, they've matured quite a bit because they've probably been working a pretty high up-tempo job for a while and understand how to manage large groups of students and mentor and coach and teach. Yeah, I mean, I think the organization at large, whatever organization they go back to, is going to benefit just from the expertise that a soldier has. And then in addition to that, that soldier is pretty much set up from a career progression perspective because they come down here, they have opportunities to attend a whole mess of functional skill schools, whether it's ones that we have ourselves or those that occur on Fort Benning with other organizations that they have the opportunity to attend, i.e. Sniper, Airborne, ARSLIC, Ranger, what have you.
And I was looking at the WTC building of an instructor, and it was approximately a 9-month pipeline?
Yeah. So it depends on the course that they're going through or that they've been assigned to teach at, right? So everybody that comes here has to first attend CFDIC, which is the basic instructor course, basically. It used to be ABIC, now it's CFDIC. And then dependent upon the program that they're going to, there's a whole gamut of requirements. ACO, for example, they'll have to go through RITEP, which is actually certifying as a Ranger instructor through 4th RTB, so they'll be in the same class as Ranger instructors over there. When they come back, then they have internal certification requirements to teach RTAC because there's a little bit of oddity between how Ranger instructors at 4th RTB do things and then how we do things here. And the only reason for that, and not taking away anything from 4th because they're awesome, but we really focus on a coach, teach, mentor approach, right? We're not with ATAC, BTAC, with RTAC, we're not a 4th phase of that school, or we're not another phase of that school. We're just trying to set them up for success and give them the best opportunity possible to succeed. Right. So we spend a lot of time, even after POI hours, providing non-mandatory or mandatory study halls to make sure that these guys have all the knowledge that they need to be as successful as possible, because without their success, we don't have a job.
Right. And when you said podium time, you mean like as an instructor time in front of the students?
Correct.
Okay. And whenever, let's see, if someone wanted to become an instructor here or become a student, what pathways, what pipelines do they take to get here?
Yeah, so students, pretty simple process. That's really just going through their training or readiness NCO and putting an ATARS application in to attend the school. If there's quotas available to the state, they'll be here. We do have constant conversation with state training officers and quota source managers across the force to make sure that their requirements are fulfilled. From a cadre perspective, it's as simple as going into the Tour of Duty website and looking for vacant positions. Anybody can apply, enlisted and officer alike. If they do apply, they will have a packet boarded through our chain of command, Sergeant Major on the enlisted side, DCO and the battalion commander on the officer side. And either way, regardless of what the outcome is, they'll be informed of how that process ends up for them, and hopefully they'll come down here.
Okay.
The good thing I think to note is that you don't have to have a Ranger tab to come. You don't have to have air assault wings. You don't have to have a Pathfinder torch. Right? There's a lot of guys that we say we grow off the street, if you will. We'll take them in with not a lot of experience, and they'll have the opportunity to support POI and kind of grow and attend CFDIC and airborne school. And
so you don't have to be Rambo to show up.
That's right. Yeah. we'll build those fundamental skills, and then we'll give them the opportunity to shine and be an instructor, and we'll send them back to their state better.
Okay. And with training, as far as you mentioned, the approach is more based on, you said train, coach, what was that you said?
Yeah, coach, teach, mentor.
Coach, teach, mentor.
Right.
So how does that differ from what WTC has observed when comparing against active duty, the Ranger battalions, or maybe even the reserves?
Yeah, so, the way that courses are written, there's specific hours allocated to lesson plans and to the program of instruction overall. And sometimes, and I'm not saying it's all courses, because I think, especially on Fort Benning, on MCOE schools or USAIS schools, I haven't seen anything but professional cadre anywhere across post. I mean, they're really phenomenal. But what you will see, if you go to, say, another course on post that we host as well, whatever that course may be, oftentimes, when you're done with POI for the day, you're done. The instructors are gone. You're going to go, spend some time studying on your own, and whatever flushes out, flushes out. With us, like Pathfinder, for example, they're at Camp Riley, Oregon right now. When they're done with class for the day, there's going to be study hall hours available, and there's going to be cadre that stay behind, because what else are they going to do? I mean, they're already out there. They're not home, and they want to see these guys succeed. So they're going to stay there, and they're going to, provide that one-on-one mentorship and that assistance that they need to really understand and grasp the knowledge. You see the same thing with RTAC here. After they have 3 different land navigation iterations that they do. After the first 2, if somebody doesn't succeed or perform like they wanted to, they're going to have one-on-one counseling with a certified Ranger instructor, so that they can understand, was it their route planning, was it their plotting, was it time management, what was it? So there's just a lot more one-on-one opportunity. And you feel like, as a student, these guys are here because they want you to succeed.
I was going to say a student-to-teacher ratio.
Right.
That sounds a lot more intimate.
Yep.
With how much WTC has grown over the past 2-3 decades, so how many new programs are coming out?
We currently have 1 that we're actively working. It was missioned by General Jensen in November of 2021. It's called the Airborne and Aerial Delivery Safety Training and Readiness Assistance Program. So essentially what we've been tasked to do is provide enterprise level oversight and executive agency to enable standardization and regulatory adherence in conjunction with airborne and aerial delivery training and readiness requirements. So we'll provide assistance to states that require assistance with airborne accident prevention programs, and then conduct aerial delivery SAVs as well, just to make sure that all of our Compo 2 organizations in terms of airborne and aerial delivery are on the same page. So anything airborne or aerial delivery, whether we're exiting an aircraft or whether we're tethered to the aircraft, i.e. sling load operations will be the SMEs for the Guard on that, and provide assistance wherever needed.
Okay. And with that new program, how does it differentiate from air assault, or is it like sling load operations, or?
Yeah, so it differs because it's not a program of instruction. It's really like an advisory team, if you
okay.
will. So what we'll do is coordinate with state leadership that are running state safety programs, and then NGB safety as well, to make sure that everybody across Compo 2 is doing the right things, adhering to regulatory requirements as it pertains to airborne and aerial delivery operations. NGBs tracking where our shortfalls are if we have any issues.
Kind of quality control.
Right, yeah. They can help, resource states that don't have the assets to do whatever it is. When we're talking about a lot of these things are commanders programs that states are already responsible for and they're already doing, right? But if they don't have a SME for whatever reason, that's where we can come in and assist them achieve whatever their desired end state is, or whatever the tag's desired end state or commander's desired end state is.
Excellent.
Yep.
So as we get close to wrapping up, did you have any final thoughts?
I think it's important, as you mentioned earlier, being on M-Day, that you didn't really know about the WTC at first, but we do continue to grow. We've expanded our mobile training team sites that we do on a reoccurring basis from 5 to 9 as of this year. So we should be out a lot more in different areas across the country, and hopefully we continue to gain visibility. We're trying to increase our social media presence as well, and make sure that people know that there's opportunities both to attend courses here and develop themselves and their organizations, but opportunities to come instruct as well.
Oh, and as far as with that growth and with the instructors, are there any particular instructors that you're looking for?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of targeted POIs that we run that we could recruit the same people for. And as our airborne and aerial delivery mission continue to increase, jump master qualified guys, we can always use them, or airborne, and we can grow them into jump masters. We run a course now. We still have a great relationship with 1st of the 507th PIR, so we can send them over there for jump master. We can put them through jump master ourselves. Pathfinders, rangers, anything with specialty skills already is great, but if they don't, we have opportunities to grow them. Just dedicated, motivated individuals that want to make a difference in the Guard and want to make a difference in their state when they come back from the Warrior Training Center. We'll take them.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate hearing your expertise and about WTC, so thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. If you would like more information on any of the topics that we discussed today, please visit our social media pages in the links below. If you liked today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. You can find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.